Well, hey there, Miss Telsha. How are you? Hey, Miss Tracy. Is it Janine? Hey, Janine. Hey, Irma. Hey, Miss Brenda. Hey, Erica. How are you? Hello, Dallas. Hey, Amy. Hey, Miss Shelley. Jennifer. How are you doing, Miss Jennifer? Hey, Miss Ricky Lynn. How are you? Hi there, Miss Kelly. How are you doing? Hey, Miss Arlene. How are you doing? Nicole. How you doing, Nicole? Let me put my camera up a little bit. All right. Hey, Char, Alberta, Canada. All right. Hey, Bado. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much. I'm gonna say all my greetings first, Miss Telsha, okay? And then I'll start the clock in just a second. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Hey, DK. Hey, Macy F. I am doing great. Thank you. Hey, Miss Kayla, how are you? And LaShawn, how are you doing? Michelle, Telsha, I heard you just like family. Tasha says she met you. She said you just like family already. Hey, Miss Deborah. Hey, Miss Heather. She said you have our personality. Niagara Falls. All right. I look rested. I'm tired. Hold on. Let me fix my hair. I'm going to fix my hair on camera, okay? Okay, there we go. I was trying to get myself together before I came on camera. Thank you. Okay. LA. All right. Thank you, Miss Amy. Thank you, Ray Ray. Thank you. Hey, Linnell. How are you doing? Oh, thank you. I look like your baby sister? Well, thank you. Hi, Tracy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Alabama. What part of Alabama, Tracy? Queens, New York. All right. Dominique. What part of Alabama? Well, hey there. Is it Del? Okay, hold on. Del Famil. Del Famil. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm looking with my Del Famil. Okay. Mobile. Okay, Mobile. I used to live, well, I was in Ozark, but then I lived over in Gulfport, Mississippi, so we used to go over to Mobile a lot. Not a lot, but a lot. Hey, Dana. Florida. Oh, really? A cold front is coming through Florida? What? Hey, Miss Cynthia, how are you? Calvary. Aw, tell she got a new family. Yep, she said you blend right in with us. Oh, you love my personality? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What kind of shoes am I wearing? I don't think that's really relevant. You guys see my face, so I don't think my shoes are relevant. Minnesota, Philadelphia. Hey there, Fernando. Hey, Jen. Jacksonville, Florida. Rhode Island. Okay. Hey, Teresa. Michigan. Okay. Hey, Just Be Real. How you doing? I was just telling Telsha, let me get my salutations out of the way, and then I'm going to give you guys a time. Give me my time. Detroit, Michigan. Okay, I got family in Detroit. Arizona. Okay. Oh, that's Miss Cynthia, Miss Cynthia. Hey, Auntie. I sure will. Hopefully Tasha come on and I'll let her know you are here. You caught me live. Hey, Miss Renee. I made your night. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Jack Rimps said I got a pretty face. Okay, don't go too far because you'll get blocked. Keep it right there. You heard me say I was tired earlier. Said I was tired. I'm a little tired, just a little bit. Hey, D Jones. Oh, I'm nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey there, Lynette. Oh, thank you, Miss Renee. I'm doing great, Mike. How are you doing? 19 days, no contact. All right, Just Be Real. What? You actually with no contact? It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Go ahead, Just Be Real. That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations to you. It just dawned on me what you were saying. And I know we had a conversation before. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Oh, wow. I am proud of you. I just thought about it because I had a whole conversation with you on another live. And you actually went no contact. Wow. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Miss Diane. Miss Diana, I'm sorry. Thank you, Miss Brenda. Josephine. Hey there. It's Armageddon. Okay, I ain't gonna say the whole name though. But hey there. Hey there, how are you? Let's see, who else? Whose birthday is it? Did I miss somebody's birthday? Divorced yours? Okay. Congratulations, Kayla. You gonna get some laughs in? Let's see who's gonna be funny tonight. Hey, Camille. Cause you guys, some of you guys are hilarious. And when I read the comments, I'm laughing and reading the comments. Hey, Miss Donna. Yours is tomorrow. Divorce, just be real. Your divorce is tomorrow? Houston. Hey there, Houston. How are you? Oh, your birthday. Oh, okay. My bad. Congratulations to all that got rid of the narcissist. That's what I'm saying. All right, y'all. Hey, before I start the question and answers, oh, happy birthday to all the birthday people. Okay. You think of Shaka Khan through the fire? Through the fire, right? I'm gonna try to make my hair bigger because I like her. I like her color. I love Shaka Khan's color. She's beautiful hair. Thank you, Miss Heather. I appreciate that. Ruby said, you got a divorce, got rid of that vampire. Well, happy upcoming birthday tomorrow, Just Be Real. Congratulations, KK. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Miss Tracy. So let me say this before we start the question and answer. Let me say this. I heard my mentor say this today, and it just really resonated with me. And what she said is, which is something that we always talk about on the videos anyway, what she said is a narcissist is very, what's the word? He's very intentional. He or she is very intentional in what they do. Very, very intentional. Now, you know, you have narcissists on the lower end of the scale. You have narcissists on the higher end of the scale. You know, some of them, like the lower narcissists, the ones that are overt, and the lower narcissists, a lot of them, they don't really know what, you know, they like the feeling of what they're doing, but they haven't mastered anything yet. You know, they're still working on getting worse, put it that way. So a lower narcissist, you know, oftentimes they're impulsive. They're impulsive. Those are the ones that usually get a lot of DV charges. But what she said was, I thought about it for a minute, because a lot of you are still trying to get out of the narcissistic relationship, and some of you are coming out of the narcissistic relationship, or some of you are out. Yes, Jack, I am a real doctor, and I'm gonna block you now because you talk too much. So anyway, you know, a narcissist is very intentional in what they do. They're intentional when they seek you out. They're intentional when they study you. They're intentional when they're love bombing. They're intentional when they are trauma bonding. They're intentional what they do. They may not have you know, like we are adding vocabulary, we're adding meaning to what they're doing because of the fact we're talking about the behavior. We're bringing information to help you understand their behavior. They don't understand their behavior. They just know they like what they do. They like the power and control. They like the control that comes with it. They like the power. They like the feelings that go along with it, meaning that they can get you to react when they want to. It's like they figure out they can push these buttons and it makes them feel empowered. And so, hey, Ernest, how are you doing? I am so honored. Oh, my goodness, you here on live. I am honored, Mr. Ernest. Your auntie's on the other side. Miss Cynthia, she told me to tell your mom that she loves her. So tell Miss Cynthia, tell Miss Million that her sister told me to tell y'all, she wanted me to tell her she loves her. Tell her she on the other side. She's over on YouTube. But a narcissist is very intentional in what they do. They're intentional in love bombing. They're intentional in trauma bonding. They like the fact that when they push buttons, they like the control that they feel. They like the control that they think they have over people. And so they're very, very, very intentional. They're intentional when they think. You go to sleep and you rest your mind, they're always thinking. If you make them angry, they have a narc injury. And Miss Just Real said, "Hey, Ernest, you got folks over here talking to you." but what happens is that because you have to think. A lot of you are trying to figure out how to get out of the grasp of the narcissist. You're going to courts. And I mean, you're going to court. You're going to family court and everything. If a narcissist is intentional in what they're doing, you have to be intentional in what you're doing. And when I say you have to be intentional, I don't mean fight fire with fire. What I'm saying is you have to be intentional in making up your mind that you're going to get out of there. You're going to have to be intentional with the fact that you're going to go no contact. You're going to have to be, you're going to have to be intentional with the fact that you can't sit. If you recognize what you're dealing with, if you've recognized that you are in a situation or a relationship or a situationship with a narcissist, you have to be intentional with making up your mind that you're going to leave. Be intentional that you're going to stay out. Be intentional that you're not going to go any contact, no matter what you feel like, no matter what it feels like in your heart. Your heart is going to be broken. You look back over your relationship, you realize the relationship was not real at all. It was fake. It was future faking. Yeah, do not play with them. You do not play with a narcissist. Don't think you can outthink a narcissist. Don't even put yourself. A lot of you are wondering, like, how do I do this? How do I get back at them? Or how do I do this? Or how? No, the main point is you're trying to get away from them. Every battle is not meant to be fought, and every battle is not your battle. Your battle is getting out of the relationship and going no contact. Your whole goal is to get away from them. Some of you are more concerned with, let me go and tell the new supply. What should I say? If they're asking me questions, if you're doing, just like you found out yourself, let them find out for themselves. Sometimes it's better to think about it. If you go and study something, you know how you study, you know what information you're looking for, you know how you think. So when you go study something versus somebody just saying something to you, how much more valuable is it when you went to go look it up and you got a confirmation of what you were thinking? So if a new supply is starting to ask you a question, that's because they've discovered something is wrong. If they're asking you a question, or if they're, can I talk to you for a minute, or should I tell that new supply? You don't have to tell them anything. Just like you had to find out for yourself. And once you found out for yourself, there's nothing nobody can say to you as to what you were dealing with. Let them find out for themselves. But a narcissist is very intentional. You have to be very intentional in making up your mind that you're going to leave. Yes, once you discover what you're dealing with, you have to come to terms with the fact that the relationship is not real. But do you know that there are people, and I mean, this is, a lot of times you're in a situation where the narcissist makes good money too. They put you in a different socioeconomic status. They cars, houses, clothing, vacations, all this stuff. And a lot of times, let's keep it real. A lot of times people don't want to leave the lifestyle. They want the narcissist to change, so they want people to tell them how to change the narcissist so they can stay with the narcissist because they like the material possessions that they get from the narcissist. And a lot of people made a choice to stay because of the socioeconomic status that they're in. A narcissist knows that. A narcissist knows that. But you have to make up your mind. You want your sanity, or do you want to stay with that narcissist? Do you want to live, or do you want to die? That is the question. That is what you're going to have to consider. Be intentional when you make up your mind. Be intentional that you're going to leave. Be intentional that you're going to go no contact. Be intentional that you're going to stay. No, give me 45 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions. So let's do 45 minutes, okay? You guys ready? So I just wanted to say that because it really resonated when she said that. I said, that is so true. A narcissist, 45 minutes, y'all. A narcissist is very intentional in what they do. So you have to be very intentional in when you leave, how you're going to leave, when you make plans. And you have to be intentional in staying away from them and getting out of the relationship and going no contact, gray rocking. Hey, Shanti, your auntie-in-law is over there and your hubby is over here on the same channel you went. Hey, Teresa, how are you doing? Excuse me, you guys. Okay. I got my blankie on. It was cold in here. I had to turn the heat on. So you guys ready? Go ahead. You guys start with the questions. Let's start with the question. Hey, Miss Linda, you guys ready? Miss Susanna said, yes, anything that costs you your peace of mind is far too expensive. Absolutely. You are your greatest investment. Hey, no mud, no lotus. You are your greatest investment. You are your greatest investment. Hey, Julie, how are you doing? Hey, Miss Julie. Is this Miss Julie from back in Bridgeport that taught me how to knit? Can you make yourself strong against a narcissist? Absolutely. The more no contact you get with a narcissist, the stronger you get, because that cloud, that fog starts to lift from your mind. And when that fog starts lifting from your mind becomes clear. Your thoughts become clear. You actually see, you can see clearly now that the rain is gone. You can see all the obstacles in your way. Don't make me start singing. Can a narc be a covert, invert, malignant, psychopath, sociopath, and have multiple personality disorder? Or just oh yeah, they can be a whole bunch of things. You have to remember that a narcissist, just because a narcissist has, think about, I'm going to answer this question like this. Think about if a person that has major depressive disorder, why? If a narcissist has dang. Let me go back because I'm trying to answer two questions at one time. I'm trying to answer the question and trying to give you a question. If a person has major depressive disorder, is it possible that person can also have schizophrenia? Is it possible that person can also have bipolar disorder? Because major depressive disorder is a part of bipolar disorder. Is it possible they can also have autism? Is it possible they can also have ADHD? Absolutely. And so, sorry, my love, Carmen, it's not me. Oh, okay, Miss Julie. I thought you were Miss Julie that used to work with me that taught me how to knit. I need to go back and knit. But a narcissist, it is a personality disorder. But just because they have a personality disorder doesn't mean they can't have everything else. I've seen people that have narcissistic personality disorder. I've seen them with autism. They have like Asperger's disorder. They also may have like traumatic brain injury. They may also have, I know one that I work with, she had Asperger's, and it's not Asperger's anymore. It's a high spectrum of narcissism, and she was licensed in the world of mental health and in social work. She was a licensed social worker, and she had Asperger's and she had narcissism. I've seen a lot of times they have post-traumatic stress. They have narcissistic personality disorder. They have antisocial personality disorder, which encompasses psychopath and sociopath, because it formerly was divided in half with psychopath and sociopath. Now it's called antisocial personality disorder, or that's what we would also call a malignant narcissist that has that disorder, antisocial personality disorder. But just so you'll know that all narcissists are malignant. It just so happens that they have another diagnosis like antisocial personality disorder. We consider those malignant narcissists as well. Are narcissists able to cry? Yeah, when they have a narcissistic injury, or they feel like they're going to be embarrassed, humiliated. People are going to find out who they are. Or if they're, a lot of times where you mistake them caring is when they start crying when you leave. It's not the fact that they're crying because they love you and they don't want to lose you. They're crying because of the fact that they probably haven't locked in another new supply, and they're losing their supply before they're able to lock in another supply, and they need to get you back because you are it's like pulling the wool from people's eyes, and you are exposing them. So to actually be exposed, they're crying. They're not crying the way that we would cry over a relationship. They're crying because remember, they're self-centered. Everything is about them. Everything is about a narcissist. When they cry, they're not crying because you think that they're crying because they care. They're crying because of them. Because of them. That's what it is. Is narcissism genetic? If so, is there anything I could do to prevent my child from having it? I'm not sure if it's genetic or not. Because remember, right now, they're still trying. There is not one thing that you can point to that causes narcissism. There's a lot of things that play into that narcissistic personality disorder. A lot of times you'll find people who have narcissistic personality disorder, if you go back in their families, You'll see a mother and a father has one, a grandmother or grandfather has, and you can keep going back. You can see narcissism all through the family. And so, to give you one, to give you a unresearched answer, I have to go look at that. But I mean, a lot of narcissists come from family that had narcissistic parents. If someone in the family had narcissism, number two, you have those that have been abused, rejected, neglected, sexually abused. Then you have those, some of them that have been raised by narcissistic parents to be, that golden child, that perfect child, that entitled one. So sometimes they're groomed. And then remember, when you have a narcissistic parent raising a child, they're not being taught empathy. Empathy is taught. Empathy is learned. Emotional empathy is learned. Cognitive empathy, you can teach somebody cognitive empathy because they know how emotions operate. So they know how to manipulate emotions. So they have the cognitive knowledge of how empathy operates. But emotional empathy, meaning to be, hey, Miss Robbie, being able to connect with another person and feel, the emotions that another person has, they're not capable of doing that. So genetic wise, I can't give you a definitive answer, but at the same time, it sounds like a lot of them do come from families of narcissism, that somebody had narcissism. So, there's a lot of things that play into the development of narcissism. I think both my ex-narcissist parents were narcissists, and all his siblings are narcissists too. That's a shame. See? You see? Guarantee you, I've seen them crocodile cry. I've seen them cry like big old babies. But when I seen them cry big old babies because they received a really bad narc injury that would cause them to be humiliated, embarrassed in public, that's when I seen them cry. Or a narc injury. That's usually when I see them cry. Do narcissist people get depressed growing old? They get, a lot of them are already depressed. A lot of people that have narcissism are already depressed. They're angry, they're depressed, they have very low self-esteem, they have a very low self-worth. And so it's crazy because you're looking at a narcissist and they look, for me to tell you, they have a very low self-esteem. They have a very low sense of self-worth. They're a lot of times they're paranoid that people are going to leave them and reject them, and it's almost oxymoron, because what you're seeing is totally different than what is really going on the inside. The way that they present themselves to everybody is totally different. They're very confident. They're very boisterous. They have to be seen. They're a lot, and don't mistake it, because a lot of people assume people that have narcissism are not smart. A lot of narcissists are manipulative. You have to remember that narcissists are very manipulative. They manipulate to get their needs met, versus we can ask a question, and if you say no, it's just no. Hey, can I borrow your car? No, girl, I just got this car. There's no insurance on it. I gotta get some insurance. But okay, thank you so much. A narcissist will find a way to try to get your car, even after you said no. Even after you explain to them that I don't have insurance on it, I gotta wait to get some insurance on it. They'll try to find a way to manipulate you to get that car. Think about it. They don't take no. If they want something, it's like, whatever I want, I'm going to get. And if you say no, I'm going to find a way around it to try to get what you got. And so a narcissist, when you say, do they get depressed? A lot of them have post-traumatic stress disorder. A lot of them have anxiety. A lot of them are very paranoid, because they're paranoid, afraid that you're going to discard them before they get a chance to discard you, or so that you won't humiliate them. Why do you think they smear campaign? They smear campaign because they know that if you get away and you start talking to people, they have to make sure they make your reputation and your character look bad, so that they can discredit you. So that when you start telling the truth about them, people are not going to believe you, because they've already smear campaigned your name. But think about it. They're miserable individuals. They're just miserable people. So to be depressed, you'll never know, because they won't display it that way. But they can get all the things that we can get. I can't get, we can't get, but bipolar, schizophrenia, major depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, all that. How do you deal with having a child with a narcissist? I've done a lot of videos on that, co-parenting and counter-parenting, with a narcissist. But I have done some videos on that as well. Narc injury make them angry. Oh, yeah. And they'll try to find a way. These are the type of people that they hold grudges forever. and then they'll come after you whatever way they possibly can to get you back. And you know the crazy thing, if you break up with them, if you discard them first, they'll try to get back with you to discard you. You know, that's crazy, right? To try to get back with someone so I can break up with you first. You don't break up with me, I'll break up with you. So they'll stay with you and get you, you know, feeling good about yourself, and they break up with you just so they can say they broke up with you. Or they try to beat you to the breakup. They tell you that I want to break up because they know you want to break up. Now think about it. As old as we are, does that not sound crazy? Does that sound, exactly, does that sound like a crazy game? They like to triangulate. Oh, absolutely. Triangulating makes them feel empowered. Think about it. If I play you against, well, I can't use me. But you know, you're dating somebody, and then, you know, a narcissist, or you're with a narcissist, and then they get someone else, and then they play you two against each other. You know, and they're the puppeteers. So they play you two against each other. You know, think about when they get with a new supply. When they get with a new supply, they're smearing your name so that they can triangulate you and the new supply together. Now, the new supply think you crazy. The new supply think you know, if you have kids, you trying to keep the kids away. You're trying to ruin him or her, you know. So now you have this new supply hating you, and the narcissist doesn't have to do a lot for you to go at it, you know. So it'd be wise, you know, to gray rock or no contact or silent treatment, whatever you have to do, even with the new supply, because the new supply doesn't know. She don't know, but he don't know, but he will figure out. She will figure out eventually. They can't stay hidden forever. They cannot stay. And then the crazy thing is, I keep saying the crazy thing. The great thing is that there are so many coaches and people talking about narcissist abuse now. So believe you me, if they have a new supply, they've probably heard narcissist abuse or narcissism pop up somewhere. I guarantee you, with as much information that is out there now, and as many people are talking about this phenomenon or this horrific abuse, guarantee you that no matter where they go, if they're on social media, they've heard narcissist abuse somewhere. They've heard that term. They've heard it. And eventually it'll begin to resonate with them if they want to. Or the narcissist may keep them away from TV or social media. But they're going to hear about it because a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are talking about it. Give me just a moment. Alrighty. So let's see here. They will know it for real if they live it. Exactly. Even though the smear can't, hold on, even though the smear, she still tries to contact and control. Why? Because she's a narcissist. That's what they do. That's what they do. Unfortunately, that's what they do. Give me just a minute, y'all. Okay, just clearing up some stuff on my page. The narcissist will create vendettas and get you back situations intentionally to create some type of emotional confusion and ejection as what they feel about themselves. Projection. Okay, got you. What's the name, Alberta? What's the name? Let's see. Because I don't have timers on here for me to see it. So you said a bad post? So you guys have to scroll through and see what the bad post was. I don't know what the bad post was because I don't have time on here, so I can't. I know you said 10:05, but I can't see the timer on there. Mine's older now and running out of supply. You know, Kelly, I did a video on the aging narcissist, and a lot of times when a narcissist, like for example, if they're somatic, A somatic narcissist is really into their looks, into materialism, into, lying about what they have, always trying to blend in with they're smarter than the average person. They're beautiful. They're most beautiful. They're the smartest person in the room. They have, whatever. But as they age, remember that a somatic narcissist depends on their looks, depends on their charisma, on their talk. And they don't age very well. They don't age very well, especially if they were handsome at one time, and let's say they start losing hair, or their hair starts thinning, they start looking like a California raisin, and they get older, they age poorly. They don't age very well, and so a lot of times they get very angry. They get angry, they get very bitter, and then people really don't want to be bothered with them. And they become very lonely because people don't want to be bothered with them. I mean, they're just ornery, just angry. Sometimes, though, a narcissist can switch. Sometimes you have a somatic narcissist that's also cerebral. They're also cerebral. They're very intelligent. And then you have sometimes, depending on what event has taken place, sometimes a narcissist will switch from being somatic to cerebral, or from cerebral to being somatic. Could be a big life change or something, and they find out that they can do it another way. But a lot of times, those that are somatic, they were good looking, and they start aging, and some of them age horribly, horrible. And when they age horribly, they get bitter, angry, hostile. People don't want to be bothered with them. I used to tell the next, oh, that's our new term, y'all. Who is this? No mud, no locust. Is that you? You came up with the word, right? So the new term, instead of saying ex-narcissist, we have adopted the term by no mud locust, next. The next. N-E-X, the next. So we don't have to say the ex-narcissist anymore. We can put those two words together, and we created a new word called the next. N-E-X, the next. Thank you. I used to tell the next that he was going to be grumpy. He was going to be a grumpy old man in the neighborhood that all the kids hated. Yup, that's usually how they end up too. That's usually how they end up too. My ex is cerebral. Who is that? Thank you, JT. I'm so honored. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. My ex was cerebral and then got together with a somatic. Haven't seen him in months, but he looked horrible last time I saw him. See, told you. Angry women are turnoffs. Yeah. Yep. Wow, I like the next. You like that term? I do too. I told her that I was going to use that. I said, that's our new word, next. Instead of us having to say X, we're going to use next. It sounds so smart. Huh? The next describe himself as such. Next. See? It kind of has a nice little ring to it in this tribe. That's our little language. The next. Perfect time for me to go no contact and stay no contact, since he said he needed a break from me again last week, even though we had plans to travel together in 2 weeks. He just don't want to spend no money. He know what he doing. He going no contact, and you got to stay. But Joanne, who is that? Jonay? Jonay, you got to stay no contact. You have to stay no contact. They're gonna keep playing with your heart. You let them keep playing with your heart because they know that they can. So they will. Why is it that they have no taste in clothes? Shoot, the narcissist I'm seeing got some excellent, exquisite taste in clothes. Sharp, sexy, nice. It just might be the one that you were with. Because all of them don't have a no taste in clothes. A lot of them got nice taste. Honey, I've seen some sexy ones. Nice looking narcissist. Men with, just exquisite taste. Beautiful, handsome, and I've seen some gorgeous, I'm telling you, I've seen some beautiful women who are narcissists. I've had them in my office coming for counseling. Gorgeous. Look like you could peel them off of a magazine. Beautiful. And I can see how men get caught up in a narcissist relationship with them. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. But they're all about themselves. They're self-absorbed, and they know that they're gorgeous. They know that a lot of them, those are somatics. Those are somatics. A scammer, a lot of them are scammers. A lot of them are scammers. Yes, they are. My dirty little secret, I'm having fun touring with my next. You know what? Okay, Lisa. What comes around goes around. Just like what comes around, it goes around to them. What comes around goes around. You keep toying with them. Remember, they are relentless. They don't sleep, and they go for the jugular. Just be real. Said karma. Scammer, hustler, liar. You know, they scam people. My ex is a slob, dresses the same way he did back in the 90s, and he thinks he's gorgeous. Not. Heather said he's a slob. Mine would be the perfect man if he wasn't a narc and a cheater. See? Irma said, really? Mine is a public figure. See? My aunt is a scammer. Mine, let's see. Mine only really missed his mom after she died because she couldn't loan him money. That's a shame. Yeah, narcissists intentionally use you. Absolutely. Let me see. What advice do you have for next parenting? If you go look, I have some videos, Chris, that talked about co-parenting versus counter-parenting. Co-parenting versus counter-parenting. Go check out the videos. I have like over what? How many videos do I now have? Telsha, just be real. How many videos do I have? I really do not know how many videos I have. I just record the videos and post them. I want to say maybe like over 300. You said my next look like R. Kelly. Uh-oh. R. Kelly a good-looking dude. Or at least he was, I think. Hundreds? Okay. Telsha said hundreds. She said she ain't even gonna count. Hundreds. Let's see. My next was well educated. See, you remember I mean, so most people, I don't know. I mean, as you get to know narcissism, as you guys are learning, you know what I mean? You said, Dr. Carmen, no, please stop. You're adoring the narc. I mean, look, now I give them credit where it's due. Not every narcissist is a California raisin. Every narcissist is not ugly. You know, a lot of you guys were with narcissists and you guys knew that they looked good. A lot of you guys were with, okay, so check this out. I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. Sometimes when you guys post, I click on your pictures to see what you guys look like. And so some of you guys, and some of you guys don't have no pictures on there, but a lot of you guys are very beautiful, beautiful people, right? Yeah, beautiful people. So I'm not assuming. Now, sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we make mistakes and we just don't want everybody to know. We've all made mistakes in our lives. We understand. Some of you guys had some tadpoles, some cockroaches. Some of you guys had some armadillos. We get it. That's because of the fact that they knew how to love bomb you. And so like you went blind. You know how you go nose blind? You just went blind. You couldn't see what you got some real mud ducks that you guys were with. I get it. But some of you guys, actually you said it. Some of you guys were with people that were beautiful, handsome, attractive, well-educated, public figures, judges, lawyers, police officers, military personnel, doctors, some of these narcissists, I mean, they are thriving. You see them on television, you see them on magazines, you see them in movies. Some of them are like the best actors you would ever meet because that's just the nature of a narcissist anyway. So why not? But some of them are beautiful, beautiful people. Some of them are not ugly to the bone. Yes, internally, they're ugly, hateful individuals. They are. But on the outside, sometimes the aesthetics, the aesthetics of a narcissist, don't get it confused. That's how some of you guys got attracted to them. They did like, who is it? LL Cool J licked his lips. And you guys, that girl and threw her hair and batted her eyes and put her hands on her hip. And you guys, oh my gosh. Some of these narcissists, they're gorgeous. I mean, they are. Now, and on the other end, you have some, and I have seen some, that look like, they look like someone ran over them with a car a couple of times. And so I was shocked because the reality is a narcissist is a narcissist. And they're that arrogant and so self-absorbed, you're kind of looking at them like, have you seen yourself? Like, have you really seen yourself? Come on, you guys seen it too. I crack you up. I like to make you guys smile. I like to bring you guys truth. I can't see you guys, but I can imagine you guys laughing, but but a lot of times having to bring truth to so much pain, why not do it with a smile? I can explain stuff to you guys and make you smile. You guys have cried enough tears. You guys have been, depressed enough. You guys have been hidden and locked up in the house. Some of you guys still haven't come out the house. Sometimes you're watching videos. That's all you really have to entertain you. You won't even come out. You guys won't even come out the house. You won't even interact with people anymore. You know what I mean? And so I understand that 20 minutes. Okay. I understand that. And so even though I bring you truth and hard truth a lot of times, I like that, especially when it's really hard truth and you have to tell the truth that is going to hurt somebody or is going to hurt your heart to hear it. I do try to add some humor in there, but to get the principles out of what I'm saying. Still in the house. See, just real. Still in the house. Still in the house. See, I'm having trouble right now with the fact my ex narc got away with it and it still plays the victim. That's another thing. They're always going to play the victim. You're the horrible person that, hey there, Stevie Bananas. You're the horrible person that, you're the horrible person that hurt them so badly. You're looking at them. They're telling your story. So they're telling your story and you're looking like, this is my story. I can't believe you're telling my story. Dale said, Dr. Bryant, question, what does TDY stays TDY? Why do military guys say this? My ex says a lot. Okay, so you heard of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. TDY is temporary duty. Temporary duty. So you have PCS, which is a permanent change of duty, meaning like when they leave and go to another duty station. So that's a PCS. That's a permanent change of duty. A permanent PCS, permanent change of station. There we go. Permanent change of station. That means that they're going to a new installation, a new base. TDY just means is like temporary duty, and they're going like for training. They're going to do a job somewhere else. They may be gone temporary duty for school. Sometimes they have like 6 months school, 90 days. They'll be gone somewhere. So that's what TDY. So basically what he's saying is like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens on TDY stays in TDY. That's basically what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Yeah, what happens in TDY stays TDY. They have like one night stands. They have little TDY girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever. I like your channel. I hope someday you will answer one of my questions. Good night. Good night. So let's see. No, Buko, it doesn't happen just to women. It happens to men too. So females can be, absolutely, there's videos on here, but females, narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health illness. And mental health illness has no lines that you can, there are no lines to be crossed. Females can be narcissists just like males can be narcissists. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Miss Bridget. But, yeah, you can see me on TV blowing up. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Miss Martha. But no, males and females can have narcissistic personality disorder, just like males and females can have major depressive disorder. Why do they watch you all the time? Just be looking crazy. It's called the narcissistic stare. Narcissistic stare has different purposes. Narcissistic stare, number one, you have the narcissistic seductive stare. That's when they first meet you and they're staring at you. And you're like, oh my gosh, he's so or she's so into me. And they're staring at you and you think you're just mesmerized at the fact that they're staring their eyes and it's beautiful. No, they're not staring. That's the seductive stare. They're studying you. They're studying you. They're studying the way that you talk. They're studying the way you breathe. They're studying the way that you, well, that's another one, but they're studying you. So when they're staring at you, when you guys first meet and it's that seductive stare, that's because they're studying you. They want to see how you talk. Remember I told you when they first present yourself, they're presenting themselves with the traits of somebody else. And so they're studying you so they can mirror you. How do you talk? What do you talk? What is your vocabulary like? Let's just use doctor for an example. Doctors have a specific type of language. Lawyers have a specific type of language. The counselors have a specific type of language, and we all have a specific type of humor that most people do not find funny because of what we laugh about. So, we keep it amongst the family. And so what they do is they'll study you. How do you talk? How do you look? How do you dress? And you'll notice that they'll meet you one way, and all of a sudden, if you pay attention, they'll begin to dress very similar to your environment, to your people, meaning the legal people, the medical people, and so it's that seductive stare that they're trying to remember Mowgli looking into the snake's eyes. So they're basically, it's their seduction. They're watching you. All right, that's enough of you. But so it's a seductive stare, a seductive look. They're trying to mesmerize you. They're trying to get you to fall into, it's almost like this trance, this seductive trance. At the same time, they're also staring at you because they're studying you. How do you talk? How do you look? What do you talk about? How do you hold your mouth? They can see your freckles. They'll see the moles on you. Then you also have the narcissistic stare, that evil stare. Is that full of hatred. It's almost like their eyes go black or their eyes are blank. It's like there's nothing there. It's that hatred stare. They hate you. And so they're looking at you. Then there's that intimidation stare. And they want, if you've messed up and you've embarrassed them, they're staring at you. It's like they're staring through your soul. It's that hatred. You can see the hatred in their eyes. So there are different reasons why they're staring at you. You said you couldn't change your hair color nor straighten your hair. That's because power and control. He wanted total power and control. Yeah, no emotions, blank look. Yup. Yeah, exactly. I wish I could post a few pictures, but I can't reveal my source. But there's different types of stares. And a lot of times you don't realize that you're getting the stare. You don't realize you're getting a stare, or sometimes when you look on pictures, you don't realize that person is actually doing a narcissistic stare. And you catch it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's what it was. Look, well, no, I'm not going to tell you. I mean, if you guys still have some pictures, you can look at some of the pictures and see it. To control, yup, studying to control. Their eyes never smile, dead eyes, yup, exactly. There's a difference when you're really happy. And think about it, like, have you ever, if you think about it for just a minute, a narcissist is like very mechanical. They smile mechanical. It's like they can't get their smile together. Remember, who was it? It was a movie that they're trying to get their smile together. They couldn't get the smile together. The smile was all off. But it's almost like their smile is off. They're trying to tap into your sense of humor. They're trying to, they're trying to pick up on facial. It's like data, like data off of Tyler. You said Tyler Perry movie is great. Show how a narcissist act. Which movie is it? 14 minutes? Okay. But it's like they're mechanical. Their laugh is mechanical. They're trying to get the laugh, Star Trek data. It's like they're trying to get the smile right. They're trying to get the laugh right. They're trying to tap into your sense of humor. They're trying to figure out how you talk, So everything about them is mechanical. Fall from Grace. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm going to have to check it out. Good movie? No empathy or positive emotions. Absolutely not. Please post those stare pit. Why? I can't do that without the permission of the person. And they're not going to give me permission to do it. Let's see. How do you leave when you have kids and been together for over 30 years, but you're being tortured? Well, I'll tell you this, Miss Kelly, and I tell this to everybody. A lot of times people give you advice. And we always say, leave. But you have to remember, when you have been in a marriage and there are children involved, a lot of times people that tell you to jump up and leave, you can't take that advice. Number one, you have to understand that in every state there are laws. So you can't just jump up and take those kids and go run out of the house, because they may, depending on the state that you're in and the laws that govern your state, they can say that you're kidnapping the children, because the father has a right, especially when you're married. Both parents have rights. They do have agencies set up, like through the YWCA, through domestic violence agencies with advocacy programs. That oftentimes, if you're trying to escape domestic, because that's what it is, narcissist abuse is domestic violence. That's what it is. It just so happened that the person that's abusing you has that, that we know of, that we're learning has narcissistic, or you assume that they have narcissistic personality disorder. However, you are dealing with domestic violence, and you have agencies out there, especially like I said, the YWCA. I don't know what state you're in. The YWCA. They also have other domestic violent agencies that will assist you in escaping your abuser. And when you use these programs and ask for help to escape and get away from the narcissist, sometimes they also relocate you and your families. It's almost like a witness protection program. They'll relocate you to another place to help you restart your life. They help you with a lot of times with housing. They help you get a new start, to get a trade or skill or something like that, so that you can be self-sufficient. But you have to check in. A lot of you guys can go on the National Domestic Violence Hotline. You can use that, and they will locate agencies in your area. But I don't suggest, you're being tormented. I would suggest getting in contact with a domestic violence advocate, because they will help you escape. And when they help you and your children escape, they can't say that you kidnapped the children. They have laws that govern that, and I would highly recommend using those programs. Women have access to help, men do not. Check this out, though, Stevie Bananas. I had a conversation. Did I have a conversation, or did they email me? I can't recall. If you're on here, please respond, because I can't recall if I emailed. But the gentleman told me that he actually used the domestic violence advocacy program, and the advocate assisted him in getting out of the domestic violence. And so I don't know what program it was, and I can't recall, was I talking to them on here, or was it in my inbox? But the guy said that he used the domestic violence advocacy program, and he had an advocate that assisted him in getting out of domestic violence. And I was so happy. And I can't recall who I talked to. Let's see. Let's go over here on this side. Struggling with venting about my ex-narc. What are healthy boundaries where you can have these conversations but don't consume or overwhelm the listener? Well, Miss Kathy, one of my highest recommendations, and I tell everybody that's on here, a lot of you that have been in a relationship with a narcissist, I highly recommend connecting with counseling. Now, some of you, if you go to Psychology Today online, you can find a local therapist, a therapist in your area that understands domestic violence. They understand psychological abuse, post-traumatic stress disorder. You find somebody that specializes like in trauma and may have training in domestic violence. For those of you that can't, you kind of stuck in the home, you're in a rural area where you haven't really found anybody that fits your needs. I tell you guys that I have a link under my YouTube channel, which is betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. If you use that link, you get a 10% discount. And on top of that is a nominal fee that you pay. And on top of that, if you have financial difficulties, you let them know and they will assist you. They do have grants to assist you. But I highly recommend, some of you guys, you can do this from the comfort of your home, telephone, FaceTime. They do online. And so it's betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. They will give you a 10% discount if you use that link. And it's a nominal fee, meaning a low fee that you pay, and you have access to a therapist. You can vet your counselor, and you can check to see if they specialize in domestic violence, post-traumatic stress, psychological abuse. You ask them questions, but I highly recommend that's what you do. Go and get counseling to help you. They will train you and help you to set boundaries. They will help you dealing with trauma, help you to understand how your body responds to trauma, how you're thinking. Living environment is chaotic. That's normally how it is. They like a chaotic atmosphere. to them, it controls you. So they love a chaotic atmosphere because it causes you to stay off kilter. You can never get your footing. You can never get your ground. And as long as you can't get your footing, and as long as you can't get your ground, they know that you're not going to go anywhere. And a unstable person can't go nowhere. You don't know where to go. You're unstable. Energy draining people, absolutely. It is about the power and control and domination. Yep. Linda said, Carmen, in one of the groups that I'm in about narcissists, someone made a comment that a sign of narcissist trait was that they don't yawn when they see another person yawn. As their yawning is contagious. What are your thoughts? I mean, they're people. Of course they yawn. I've been around people that I knew for a fact were narcissists. I don't think they realized they were narcissists. They yawned when I yawned. You can't, you know what? Some things people just, sometimes certain things are personal experiences. So sometimes, you know, okay, now that I've said yawn, now I got the yawn. Oh, that's contagious. Just thinking about yawning. But you have to think, sometimes people are talking about their personal experience. Like the young lady here asked, you know, why do they not know how to dress? Well, that's a personal experience because the ones that I've seen, you know, some of them could not dress and some of them dress very well. You know, so when you say yawning, I don't think that's scientific. I don't think that's a scientific statement at all because the ones that I've been around, they yawn. I yawn, they yawn. They were like, stop yawning, girl. That's contagious. Now, keep in mind that these are narcissists that I'm talking about. So I don't know. That may be a personal experience, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Why do they use threats that aren't even realistic, saying things like, I'm going to get full custody of son, like in what planet? I mean, well, in their mind, there's truth. You know, in their mind, there's truth because they're concocting a plan on trying to get your son. So even though you may not believe it, still protect yourself because they'll go all out. He'll, you know, these type of people will smear your name so bad that they'll make you look bad in front of people. They'll tell their story as if it's your, and you know, they'll take your story and tell their story as if it's their story. I've been seeing a clinical psychologist since 2013, but after I came across Dr. Brian, everything was illuminated. I began to see them for who they are, and I went no contact. I consider her videos as my prescribed medicine. Take a dose 4 to 5 times per week. Oh, thank you, Nina. I appreciate you. I'm honored. Thank you so much. Smear campaign is insanity. Absolutely. I don't understand none of this. I just can't comprehend why anyone would like this. It makes you not want to open up anymore. They don't like it. Mr. Robot, you yawn too. But I mean, you don't like it. So what do you mean? So why would anybody like this? It makes you not want to open up anymore. Okay, so I don't understand none of this. So no mud, no lotus. Explain to me what you mean by that so I can comment on that. Mine wanted me to charge a car for him and got mad at me for not doing so because they want their way. You know, it's their way or no way. They want what they want. They want what they want. Jack left all the dog growth. Okay, I don't get what that was. I don't understand that. He would stay in bed until almost 1 p.m. and would create drama to start his day. Isn't that a shame? Dr. Carmen is right. You have to plan your escape. If you leave before you have prepared for your future, you're going to feel like you can't make it without them. Then you're going to go right back to your next. Absolutely, Darlene. Absolutely. You have to plan your escape, you know. And the first thing you want to do is you have to get a mentor. You might want to get a domestic violence advocate. They will assist you through that process, you know, to get you out into safety. You can't just run out with your clothes in your hand and run in the street because 9 times out of 10, that's what happens when people can't. So they know that you can't sustain yourself. You don't have any money. You don't know where to go. You have no support system. What do most people do? They go back. They go back. I'm just having a hard time understanding why anyone would intentionally act so calculated and cruel. It's a disorder. It is a disorder. That's just like, you know, and please, no offense. I don't mean any offense when I say this. Who just did that? Thank you, Jill. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm so honored. Thank you so, so much. I'm so honored. You have to remember, okay, so for those of you that have family members that may be autistic, that have family members that have Down syndrome, family members that may have like, at one point in time, it used to call mental retardation, and it was mild, moderate, and severe. Now it's called cognitive or intellectual delays, mild, moderate, or severe. And so you may have someone that has a cognitive or intellectual delay, and intellectually they may be the age of 10 years old, but chronologically they may be 30, 40 years old. And when you talk to them, it's like talking to a 9-year-old. You can't be angry with them, or you can't look at them like, I just don't understand how you act like a child. Well, they're delayed. And so most of us look like, why would you do that? You know that person is delayed, and we accept it, right? So you may have someone that's autistic, right? So you have you have the lower end to the higher end, which is like Asperger's. But if you get like toward the lower end, sometimes they're nonverbal. So they can't communicate and they're nonverbal. So they make a lot of noise. They get overstimulated. So when you understand that, just give me one more minute to explain this, okay? Just be real, not 1 minute. Give me about 5 minutes just to explain this. But you have someone that's autistic, and so they're overwhelmed with the way that we regulate ourselves. Bright lights and loud noises. We know how to regulate ourselves. But a person that has autism, they're overstimulated, and so because they're overstimulated, they have no coping skills, so they don't understand how to they may rock back, and you see them rocking back and forth. You may see them banging their head because and so what the therapists have to do, they have to train the parents on how to help them come up with different skills. But do we get angry with them? No, because we understand that they have autism. You may have someone that's schizophrenic. Some of them are catatonic. Catatonic means that they're nonverbal. Some of them they just frozen. And then you have those that have schizophrenia that actually have conversation. And a lot of their themes are very similar. The thought insertion, signs meaning something. They're writing all this stuff on a piece of paper. But do we get angry and say, I don't understand why you're like that? No, because of the fact that they have schizophrenia. Well, narcissistic personality disorder is the same way. Now, the bad part about narcissistic personality disorder is the fact that they're hidden in plain sight. They look like the average person, normal people, they do, but they have a mental illness. And so with a mental illness, many times when we say mental illness, you're expecting to see something like slobbing at the mouth, or the medication reaction where their mouth is twitching, or you're expecting to see something visually. You're not going to see something visually because of the fact that it is an internal dysfunctional malformed personality which stems from childhood somewhere. So you're expecting them to look a certain way. And so many times the problem when we're coming out of these relationships, and a lot of the questions, just like, what you just said, the hard time having to understand, I don't understand why you're like this. I don't understand why you treat me like this. I don't understand why you're so cold and calculative. That's like asking a poison viper, I don't understand why you bite. I don't understand why the Scorpio stings. I don't understand why the dog or the wild lion bit me. I don't understand. I tried to pet the lion and the lion bit my arm off. I don't understand why the Scorpio stung me in the leg. I don't understand. You see what I mean? And so you have to think with a narcissist, they are a creature of habit. That's how they are. They are very unstable. They don't look unstable. Very unstable, I can't say malformed, dysfunctional individual. A snake is a snake. Tigers don't change their stripes. And so I know you're having a hard time, understanding, but you have to stop asking yourself why. And now you have to understand the condition. You have to understand the mental illness. This is a mental illness. If you go research it, those that are in the mental health field that read the diagnostic and statistical manual of mental health disorders. I think I said that right. But the DSM, if you read the DSM, if you do some research, you'll find out narcissistic personality disorder, the disordered personality is, yes, DSM-5 is a mental illness. Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental illness. And though they may not look like they have a mental illness, what does it look like? You see what I mean? And if you think majority of every single one of you that have made comments on here all of you have almost the exact same story. You had different people, you know, LGBTQ community, heterosexual community. You have the Latino community, the African American community, the Asian community. You got the British, our British family. You got the Canadian folks. You got the Mexican folks. You got the Brazilians. You know, you have the Islanders. You have the German people. All of us are telling the exact same story. It's just different people. You know, each person is different. Some of them dress really nice. Some of them don't know how to dress. Some of them are very meticulous. Some of them are very sloppy, you know. But the thing is a lot of you say, why? That is the question coming out of these, you know, out of these relationships. Why? I don't understand why. That is where it's going to torment you the most, because you're trying to figure out why. What have I done? I don't understand. What can I do to change? You can't do anything to change them, but what you can do is educate yourself on narcissistic personality disorder to take the blame off of you. You see what I mean? True Asian here, that's what I'm talking about. But you have to take the blame off of yourself and study the condition, study the disorder. You see what I mean? When you study the disorder, you'll begin to understand it is a mental illness. That's how they function. They're creatures of habit, and they do things out of impulse. They do things to meet their needs. Hurting people hurt people. They're hurting individuals, and they're going to hurt, and they're not going to change. That's how they get their needs met. If you say no and they can't get it, they'll find a way to take it from you. They'll find a way. And the sad part is they try to take all your good qualities and take them upon themselves. And they can't. You are who you are. You know, and so I'm sorry that, you know, I'm not sorry. That's not the word I want to use. You know, I grieve with you because you're hurting so bad. I've been in that place before. Many of you have been in that place before, when you just don't understand. It doesn't make sense. Your brain is trying to make some sense of this. And your brain, you know, can't make sense of this until you start educating yourself about narcissistic person. Yeah, cluster B personality disorders, absolutely. And so, you know, I grieve with you, and my condolences to you. And you know that this tribe is here to support you. You know, this tribe is here to support you. Yeah, whatever it takes, you know, this tribe is here to support you. And I know that in your pain, you know, a lot of times it doesn't matter what we say. You're going to have to go through that pain process. You're going to have to go, through that pain process. Okay, y'all. So I promise, Telsha and Just Be Real, I just wanted to explain that because I know that she's hurting, and I wanted to make sure I addressed that before I came off, to address that, because that's a lot of things that you guys are going through, is when you keep saying why. So I really, this channel is the only reason why I've remained no contact. I'm so proud of you, No Mud. I'm so proud of you. You know, hang in there. Because as you continue with us, it's going to get better. You see what I mean? It's going to get better. Thank you so much, Miss Telsha. Thank you guys, Just Be Real, for being patient with me. You know, please speak on self-harm right quick. Oh, you giving me more time now, huh? Ah, you give me more time now. You want me to answer a question. Now, Just Be Real, do you mean self-harm to yourself? You mean people that self-harm? Is that what you're asking me? Good night, Miss Erica. Are you talking about self-harm? Just Be Real, like to yourself? Yeah, people who commit suicide oftentimes don't say anything. They just do it. Yeah, they just do it because they don't want you to stop them. Record everything. Okay. Oh, good night, Miss Shelley. You said Melissa asked? That's a request from a chat. Oh, okay, wait a minute. So self-harm, like to yourself. Okay, so you know, when a person doesn't have coping skills, a lot of you, and matter of fact, I said this in the last video that I did. I think it was the last video I did. Somebody was saying that they were cutters. They're a cutter, but they were trying to commit suicide, and they had cut their wrist and stabbed themselves, and my video popped up. And that was the only reason why they didn't follow all the way through, because my video popped up, and I was talking about exactly what they were going through at that particular time. You remember, cutting and self-harm is a lot of time people punish themselves, and they feel like the pain is what they deserve. So they punish themselves, and they may cut and they self-harm themselves, or they may, you know, they do dangerous things in hope that Maybe they'll die. They self-harm because they're punishing themselves. They much rather feel a physical pain than the emotional pain. You have to remember that the same receptors in your brain that processes physical pain is the same receptors that process emotional pain. And it's just that powerful. It's just that powerful. And so a lot of times people can't handle emotional pain, so they'll create physical pain, like cutting on their legs. Like a lot of times I've met people that cut on their legs or cut on their arms so you can't see it, So a lot of times that is just like overeating. For me, cutting makes the pain or the panic stop. See, Season, you got to stop. And you look like a very beautiful young lady. You need to stop. You really need to get into some counseling to help you with that self-harm, because what you're doing is that you don't want to feel that emotional pain. And because you don't want to feel that emotional pain, you are damaging yourself in doing it. It's not going to stop it. It's going to get worse. You see what I mean? It's just like overeating. When people have like an eating disorder, that is the only thing that they can control is eating. Well, really, they can't, but it's the only reason, that is what they do. They overeat, or they undereat, or anorexia. That's the only control that they have. Those are coping mechanism to help so that you don't feel the emotional pain. But I'm telling you, you much rather, you don't want to injure yourself. You mess around and hit a vein or an artery, you end up killing yourself. And then I want you to discover the fact that you can recover from this. This is not a permanent thing. You can recover from this. I recovered from this. You see what I mean? I recovered from this. And here I am talking to you guys about it. So you can recover from this. There are a lot of people that have recovered from this. Do you have scars? Absolutely. You're going to have some emotional scars. You're going to have some mental scars. It's not easy to trust people all the time. You know what I mean? It's not easy to trust people all the time. But you can recover from this. You can. You'll forever be changed. Don't get me wrong, you'll forever be changed, but cutting is not the answer. That's just like overeating. That's like taking drugs and alcohol. That's exactly the same thing. It's like drugs and alcohol. That's what self-injury is, or self-harm is. And so I really recommend, if you are self-harming yourself, you're in the process of leaving the narc. I'm much better now than I'm leaving, but you're hurting yourself. That narcissist made you feel less than. That narcissist made you feel less than beautiful, less than smart, less than worthy. You made you feel like you don't deserve to be loved. That, if anybody makes you feel like you have to work for my love, you have to work for my attention and my time, that's not a person that loves himself either. And so a lot of times, out of frustration, you're just hurting yourself to stop the emotional pain. But I guarantee you, if you get out of the relationship and you're working on getting out of the relationship, it takes time for that fog to lift. It takes time for that mist to lift off, that narcissistic mist to lift off of your mind, but you'll start thinking clearer. One day you'll look in the mirror and you say, you know what, you're all right. You're beautiful. You are okay. I did it. I looked in the mirror one day. I was like, you all right. I kind of like you. You kind of cool. And this is my conversation with myself, So, if you are cutting yourself, I highly recommend you get to a counselor and talk to a counselor. And remember, it's betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. They'll give you a 10% discount. Let them know if you're having financial problems, because this is, it's a fee-for-service program, and it's a nominal fee, meaning a low fee. But if you're having financial difficulties, let them know, because they'll help you with grants. They have some grants available, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home, phone, computer, anything like that. Okay. So self-harm, suicidal ideation, there is a national suicide hotline. Go on Google and look for it. I'll make sure I'm gonna start posting it on my not my community tab, my info about me, where it says that I'm gonna make sure I put down like the national, and I had it posted somewhere. I think it's, matter of fact, I think it's listed underneath my video. When I post my videos, if you actually read through all of that, at the bottom, I think it has the national suicide hotline on there as well. So hopefully I answered that question. I am getting ready to get off camera because I am really sleepy, and I can feel it. Because I'm getting ready to go to sleep because I'm sleepy and my glasses are getting uncomfortable. And so I'm getting ready to go to bed, you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and Telsha and Just Be Real, thank you so much for moderating for me. Thank you. Hey, TMG. Oh, my goodness. You all late and stuff? TMG is going to assist me in trying to do my visit in Dallas. TMG is gonna, she's over there, she's my other moderator, my third moderator. So TMG is going to be assisting me in trying to get something going in Dallas for you guys. So I can come down there in Dallas. She's gonna come to Dallas with me. And so we're gonna try to get something together in Dallas, okay? But TMG tells her, thank you so much for moderating for me. Thank you so much for keeping the trolls, roaches, and scrolls off of our off of the channel. Those that you miss, I got them. So, but I thank you guys so much, you guys. Thank you always for being here. Thank you for trusting me. Where's that no mud? Good night, Dr. Bryant. Thank you for your time and wisdom as always. You know, you stay encouraged, okay? Be encouraged. Be encouraged. There is a silver lining, you know, after the rain, and there is, you know, light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I am Michelle. TMG is gonna help me put something together for Dallas, and I probably won't do like a big event or anything like that. I might just do like a dinner and a meet and greet, and then maybe just talk to you guys there. You know, we can all meet, and you know, we'll take some time take some time and there we go. Take some time and just, you know, talk, and you guys can ask questions. I'll do some, you know, we'll talk a little bit just to kind of recap on a lot of these videos, you know, to bring it together and bring some knowledge so I can give you guys some encouragement. I can meet you guys if you have your book. Good luck to you too. I see the narcs out here. You're still narking healing. TMG, you looking really good too. TMG has come a long way. She is looking fabulous. She getting her body back in shape. You looking gorgeous. I need to find out where you get them wigs from though. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, we're gonna get something together so I can talk to you guys, okay? Montgomery, Alabama, shut your mouth. I graduated from Carroll High. I used to work for 103.9 J103, the heartbeat of the city, in the Wiregrass area, and we used to travel to Montgomery all the time for concerts. So, Brittany, you know, everybody used to come down there for concerts. Matter of fact, my family, I still got family down there. Yeah. Montgomery, Alabama, small world. Small world. But hey, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you. So I was trying to read the last comments. Did I get her email? I have to go back and look. Now, y'all, if you guys sending me a whole bunch of pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures, I love you guys. Lord knows I do. I just don't have time to open up all them pictures, you guys. And then if your email is like this long and my phone is only this big, it becomes very complicated because you guys have to remember I travel, you know, I have clients all day. I'm on conference calls. And so a lot of times, you know, when you send really long emails, or when you guys, bless your hearts, when you guys leave those really long messages on YouTube, sometimes I don't have time to read through all that. That's very long, you know, and so I don't have the time. I know a lot of the tribe, you know, will take their time and read a lot of those messages and respond, and I really appreciate you guys for doing that. Thank you so much. But a lot of times I don't have time to read through all that, because remember, as I'm looking down, I got clients coming in, or I'm getting ready to go on a conference call, or I'm getting ready to go FaceTime with someone to do sessions, you know. So, and then a lot of time travel, I can't read and drive, you know. So if it's too long, will I do live streaming? I can. I have to find a program to do the live streaming. But if I do conferences and they're paid conferences, then you know it'll be paid live streaming as well. Yeah, Michigan. I think yes. I have to tomorrow. I got to call. I have to call Miss Carpenter so I can give you guys some definitive information. Somebody told me that Miss Sarah Speaks has gone to do something else. I think she's doing tarot card readings or something like that. I don't think she's doing narcissist abuse videos anymore. So I think she announced that, and someone let me know that she had announced that. I remember when she had announced that. And so you in Michigan. Okay, I got family in Michigan, so I'm supposed to be coming up there. So she's working on Houston, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, coming to North Carolina. I'm still coming to North Carolina, and where else? So Houston, Detroit, Michigan, Los Angeles, and North Carolina. So I'm getting ready to go, you guys, okay? I feel myself getting sleepy. You got to come over there where we're at then, Miss Season. And remember, you take care of yourself, Miss Season, okay? Take care of yourself and get yourself into counseling. You're too beautiful. You're too smart. You survive too much for you to try to injure yourself. He's already tried to injure you. The ultimate sacrifice for a narcissist is if you kill yourself. And that is not what you want to do. Good night, Miss Tracy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Be careful when you're looking for friends on social media, okay, Miss Rena? Be careful. There's some narcs out there. Not everybody that's on here are survivors. So be very, very careful, okay? You are so welcome, honey. That sounded so cute. I sounded like a little old lady, Miss Honey. So, hey, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you guys go check out my book in Barnes & Noble and Amazon. It is Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. If you go look up under my link, you'll find it. Make sure you check out my mentor's YouTube channel. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, and she brings you information about narcissist abuse from a spiritual and biblical perspective. She's the presiding prelate of Into His Chambers Global Ministry. She is my mentor. She is my pastor. She is my spiritual mother, and she is very powerful. And Miss Telsha had the opportunity to meet her. So you see that the apples don't fall far from the tree. So if you met Tasha, you met myself. If you met her daughter, Pastor Kathy Gibson, if you meet the daughters, within the ministry, you see that the apples don't fall far from the tree. She's a very powerful woman. She's an entrepreneur. She's the senior pastor, very educated, very knowledgeable, very powerful lady, and she teaches her daughters and her sons, and so you can see where we get it from. She doesn't raise no dummies. So so if you met her, you've met us. If you meet us, you're gonna meet her. Because we're her daughters, spiritual daughters. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys so much for the donations. I thank you, Miss Jill, and the other person that gave me the donation. I really appreciate it. I know you guys have asked. I do have a Cash App and a PayPal link underneath my videos. If you want to give, I do use it and try to go and continue to create programs. And I really appreciate you guys, because we're trying to get this information out of here. We're trying to get this information out into the court systems. We're trying to get this information out. And thank you so much. I don't use Zelly. I need to check out Zelly. I need to check that out. Let me check out Zelly, because my bank uses Zelly. Thank you for letting me know. I'm going to go check it out. And then when I figure it out, I just put the link there. But thank you guys so much for the donation. You guys don't know how much that means to me. I really, really love talking to you guys. You guys really make my day. I really love you guys. And I mean that from the heart. You guys really make this really worthwhile doing, especially when I hear all the victory stories, when I hear all the victory stories, when I hear, the progress, it's like a Cash App thing that banks use now too. But thank you guys so much, okay? We don't advertise other people on my channel. I don't like that. Please do not do that. Do not come on anybody's channel ever and advertise somebody else's coaching and anything like that. Do not do that. I will block you. I don't appreciate that, and other coaches do not appreciate that. They work very, very hard to gain the trust of their followers and subscribers, and they work very hard. Never come on somebody's channel and start advertising somebody else's channel. I don't appreciate that. I've said that before, and I will block you off the channel. Do not do that. That is very disrespectful, and that means that you're too lazy. And I'm not speaking to anybody here. We're family, but that is very, very disrespectful when you do that, because you're not willing to work to gain the trust of people. You're just wanting to go put links out there and want people to come and follow. And some of you guys shipwreck people. Some of the people that do that when they come on the channel to get you to go to somebody else's channel, sometimes I'm not saying all the time. Sometimes narcissists and people that are abusing people. Sometimes people are giving out bad information, and you guys are in a worse state than you were in when you went over there. Now, I'm not hating on anybody, because you have people like R.C. Blakes, you have Honorable Bishop R.C. Blakes, you have people like my pastor Apostle Helen Sadler, you have people like Angie Atkinson and Quinn Holiday, Melanie Tonya Evans, you have people like Dr. Les Carter, you have all these outstanding coaches, but you never see them going on other people's sites advertising themselves. We watch their channels, and you never see me advertising on somebody else's channel. If they do if my information is on it, it's because they did it, not because I did it. So never go to another person's channel and advertise somebody else's channel. That is very disrespectful, and I will take you off of my channel, and I'll let you know while I'm here, because I can do that. So if you guys have channels, if you guys work hard to get people to trust you, if you work hard to try to help people heal, we're dealing with serious situations like suicidal thoughts, self-injuring, cutting. You're talking about people trying to escape and trying to find safety. And then people just come on here and start advertising. Yeah, trolls, and a lot of trolls come on here. You guys, I'm going to tell you now, when you're on here, look out when people, it sounds like they're having a discussion with you, and then right after that they say, and I'll teach you how to hack. If you call this number, I'll teach you, we'll get you to hack into your person's telephone so you can see whether they're cheating. Those are hackers. Those are hackers that are trying to hack into your stuff. Those are hackers. And if you see it, you let them know that, and let other people know. Because sometimes when people are so desperate and they're so, hello from London, how are you doing? But sometimes when people are so desperate and so in pain and so hurt where they're wanting to know answers, people are willing to pay money to hack into stuff. But you don't realize that these are hackers. These are people that are playing you. So don't play into their games, and don't let people come and advertise on your channels either. So if you guys have channels and thank you so much. I appreciate it, Patience. I love your name. But when you're building your channel, do not let people come and advertise on your channel. Now, if they ask me, sometimes when people advertise or say something, or I may advertise on their behalf on my Facebook page, that's because I made that decision to do that, and I know that they're okay, and you're not going to hurt the rest of the tribe. But when people just start advertising on there, you block them off of your channel. So I'm just trying to help you, some of you guys that are becoming coaches, that are getting ready to do your own YouTube channels. You don't have to be over nice. That is disrespectful. Don't ever do that. Now that I'm finished fussing and stuff, that's it. So, hey, I appreciate you guys. Now I'm ready to get off for real. So thank you so much for being here, you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me, and thank you so much for caring, and even donating. I am so honored. You don't know how honored I am and privileged I am that you guys are here with me. So I want you guys to go and have a beautiful night. Oh, JT, you were the other person. Thank you so much, JT. It was you and Miss Jill. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I promise I am. My sinuses, my nose is stuffed now. But thank you, Jill. Thank you, JT. Thank you for the donations. I'm truly honored. Thank you so much, you guys. And I want you guys to have a wonderful evening. You guys go and be great. Sleep well. Get you some lavender, unless you're allergic to it. Put it on your pillow so you can get some rest. Get a bubble bath, whatever you guys do. Light some candles, dim the lights in the bathroom, get you some bubble bath, some lavender, something just to relax yourself. Get you some salt, what is it, that Epsom salt or some Calgon, take you away and relax. Let your hair down, let your afro out, Excuse me. And you guys have, and good morning then. Good morning to you. And I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. That's my third goodbye. So good night, you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Good night, YouTube. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys go be great, okay?